Hi there, guys. Not going to be long in this video. Uh, didn't I really wasn't going to do a video today. It's just something that kind of came to me and I wanted to talk about it. Um, anyway, so I like listening to my old school. And so I was listening to um, the song by Music Soul Child, Don't Change. And while I was listening to that, I'm thinking about um, I'm listening to the lyrics, you know, and it brought me to how today how we have so many, uh, mostly men, that are talking about uh, wanting what their grandparents had, what they saw, from their grandma and grandpa and things like that. And I thought about that, and I was just kind of saying to myself, like, we've heard a lot of horror stories with the grandma and grandpa stories and idolizing those stories. We've heard a lot of things that just was not as idealistic as we have made them, or was not as they were, like we saw them through children's eyes. A lot of secrets and things that we didn't know. And so Um, and I started thinking about that. And I was thinking about the song uh, and the lyrics. And I started saying to myself, well, I don't necessarily want what grandma and grandpa had. I want what these lyrics and that song say, you know. And I started thinking a little bit more, and it just kind of came to me that, how so many of these guys, women do it too, but it's more so I hear men. Uh, Idolizing what the grandparents had, and wanting that and everything. And so trying to cover my bra strap. I think that I'd rather not even be doing a video in this dress, but I just had to give um, what came to me. And so anyway, um, I'm thinking, I start listening to the lyrics and everything, and I'm hearing what the song is saying. It sounds great. I would love to have that. And so I'm thinking that so many of these guys, when they start idolizing grandma and grandpa's relationship, I was saying to myself, and many other people have asked as well, did they know what grandma and grandpa's relationship was really like? Like, did they really know what grandma was going through? A lot of times she was definitely being cheated on. Grandpa had all kind of different families and outside children and things like that. And it hit me, and I'm like, I think some of these guys are idolizing that because they did know. They did know that grandpa was cheating on grandma, and there was other outside children and outside women and things like that. And I think they idolize it because grandma stayed, and just, I guess it would seem like she allowed it or whatever. But first of all, that's extremely selfish for you not to even consider how that would be on somebody, instead of just looking at it from your viewpoint of you getting sex, the sex that you want, because surely having a bunch of outside children is not some type of an award or trophy or something to be proud of. Um, and then I thought about grandma, and I'm like, well, what would make grandma stay with that, you know? And the first thing that I could think of as a woman who is in a bad situation, this is not an ideal situation whatsoever. But I had to think about the time, of course. I had to think about circumstances and everything. I had to think about the fact that many times women back then start having babies 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, all the way up pretty much through their reproductive years, where many of them were having upwards of five and more children. My grandma had eight or nine. But yeah, so that's how it was done back then. That's just kind of was normal. And when I start thinking about what would make grandma stay, I start thinking like, well, damn, that's a lot of children, baby. When you have that many kids, you always have a baby or a toddler or something. And I'm like, where would you go? How you gonna take care of yourself? How you gonna support yourself? Like back then, it wasn't a bunch of shelters and things for women. It wasn't a lot of resources and things like that for women uh, to help women. It was pretty much the husband, that was cheating, lying, probably a lot of times maybe even beating the woman and being verbally abusive, emotionally abusive, just all of that, pretty much doing whatever he wanted to do. And yeah, you kind of stuck. I mean, once you start having all of these babies, I mean, one and two children are hard. But when you sitting up here with six, seven, eight, nine, I mean, yeah, it's virtually impossible. And that pretty much was the catch. Those women, our grandmothers and so forth, had children and babies that they had to look out for. And so you don't like it, but what you gonna do? You pretty much gotta stay. Cause even, I mean, in a lot of ways, you can't go back to your parents. You know what I'm saying? You can't go back to your parents. So, especially now with a whole bunch of mouths to feed. Back then they were living in little small houses. Some of them were living in shacks. Um, I mean, it was just not ideal at all. It wasn't all of these programs and things that are out now that are here to aid women uh, whose fathers are not participating or who have walked off and left. And so, yeah, that's really it. That's really the video. It just came to me that it's not so much that these guys are idolizing, 40, 50-year marriages and, wanting to be like grandpa and grandma and all that. It was that cheating and letting them cheat and feeling like, since I'm the man, I pay all the bills, I can cheat. I've not figured that part out yet. Like, what's the thing with that? Like, I mean, just stay single. Like, why even get a woman? Just stay single. And well, I guess it's to have their needs met. I guess it's to have somewhere to stay, somebody to cook for you, somebody to clean and wash, yeah, do all of that stuff for you. So, okay, okay. When we start just really thinking selfishly, you know, but yeah, that is really what I hear most of the time when we're talking about a man paying all the bills or whatever, which is so crazy. And I don't, anyway, when we start talking about men paying all the bills and things like that, normally, especially in today's time, this is a man who feels entitled to freely cheat, and you don't say nothing about it. And I guess that's their crazy, degenerate way of trying to get back what grandpa and them had. But, and that's what I keep saying, like, it keeps hitting my mind. Why you got to keep impregnating women and having all these children? Like, are y'all trying to get a legacy or like, because you're not taking care of the children in the families. You're not taking care of everybody properly because you don't have the means. You don't have the money. You don't have the credit. You don't have the ability to take care of two and three families and two or three women. I mean, if you I mean, if your thing is to go outside and get other women and cheat, stop impregnating them or something. I mean, like, I, birth control is a two-person situation. I completely understand that the men and the women need to be practicing birth control. I do get that, but you know, um, you guys, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Send me, uh, put a comment down in the comment section. Hit the notification bell. Hit all notifications so that you know whenever I upload a new video. And please hit the like button. You guys, thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Until the next video, see you next time.